What's up, everybody? It's Roger and James here from the DisKingdom Podcast. In this episode, we're going to be talking about Marvel Strike Force and what seems to be a major problem went global with some major problems for the microtransactions, and some of the big YouTubers that play the game have quit. There's been a lot of rage over on the Reddit. It even got picked up by a number of the big gaming sites like Polygon, and that's never a good sign when you start seeing Marvel or Star Wars games being ripped apart for their microtransactions. And I've watched quite a few of the videos of people explaining why they've quit and stuff, and definitely feels like FoxNext, they went from, everyone was like in the beta, in the soft launch, everyone said this, everyone seemed to be loving the game. And I think, were you playing it for a while?
I played it during the soft launch, and then I played it for, I don't know, a handful of days after it came out. I think if you guys want, we've got the soft launch impressions at the very least in our archive, if you're willing to track those down.
Yeah, I tried it a few times. I did retry it a couple of weeks ago, but it was a bit like, it was too similar to Disney Heroes battle mode, and it's like that thing of like, one's enough for me. And the trouble is with this is it got all the bad publicity, and FoxNext have been getting a lot of criticism for it's kind of going to ground, but also just really ranking up what was required. They did this Nick Fury new character, and apparently it's taken, literally will take days, or like just it'll take forever to unlock him unless you buy it. They were even selling like a $99 pack when they logged in, and it was literally just for unnamed generic characters that would make no difference to your thing. Which they're not the only one, because I had this on Disney Heroes the other day. There's like $99 package come up, and I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? It's like, no. It's almost like, delete. Delete.
I mean, as ridiculous it is, and it is completely ridiculous, that does seem to be becoming the normal for these games. I know I was playing DC Legends for a little while, which is their version of this, and every month they release 2 new characters, and one of the characters is a premium character. You can get a bit of them from the PvP arena, but they always have the $99 thing to get the full, and I'm just like, I don't understand. But people buy it. Yeah. People do buy it. And I know Galaxy of Heroes, for instance, is actually worse than that. If a new character comes out, there is not a $99 pack. There's normally a $60 pack, but that only gets them halfway to, well, numerically halfway, not, the things to unlock them halfway. And if you do want to unlock them, you have to play the RNG game, and you'll buy a pack that's just that character, so it's not random whether or not you get the character. But I was talking to one of my guild mates, or whatever you want to call them, on Galaxy of Heroes. I'm like, you're a whale. How much do you normally spend on a new character, maxing them out? And he's like, I'll do 2 of the $99 crystal pack. So we're talking $200 plus change to get one of the new characters in Galaxy of Heroes at max power right when they're released. I'm just like, even if I had that kind of money to spend on this, I'd rather spend it on like something else entirely, plane tickets to Disney. I mean, that's where my money typically goes. Yeah. So
it's just, I mean, it kind of is that weird thing of like, we talk about like Magic Kingdoms when it comes up and you get a new character and it's $6.99 and we go, it's a bit steep. Yeah. Now I'm there going, this is cheap. And if you go back to some of our old Disney Magic Kingdom things, it was always that kind of like, this is $7. That's an expensive pack. And I'm like, yeah, but you haven't played Avengers Academy. And then you go on to this and you go, okay, wow, yeah, $6. That's whatever. I'll just not have coffee tomorrow. That's fine. But yeah, so getting back into the original one of this, which is specifically FoxNext and Marvel Strike Force, the problem wasn't the pricing. That was what the tangent was about. The problem isn't the pricing, although it is ridiculous. That is a problem, but it's an industry-wide problem. No, the problem is them changing the bar on people
repeated. That's just one of the problems, actually. You'd get the Nick Fury. I think this happened in the Ant-Man event too. That's actually what I heard about it. Was the Ant-Man event, which was a tie-in. Was they'd be like, you can get this character, but it's completely random, and whether or not you get to power him up is completely random. And here, give us money. And it's just like, and then the community fought back. They're like, no, this is ridiculous. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, the response was just deafening silence from FoxNet. They would make some stealth changes.
They did put out a blog post, kind of sort of saying stuff, but it had been quite quiet. They have kind of addressed it a little bit, but I can't help but feel like they maybe might have had some phone calls from higher ups, kind of going, "Wait, you might need to sort this out. We've already dealt with this once this year."
And the funny thing is, to me, I have no proof of this. This is pure speculation on my part. Is that a lot of the reasons with these insane prices and these insane incentives to turn people into whales, or at least dolphins, is that Disney is putting pressure on these companies, particularly companies that they own or are about to own, such as FoxNet, to make these massive profits. And I have to imagine that there is a lot of backdoor politics going on where it's like, okay, you're making money, but you see this group over here, they're making more money. And if I give the money that I was giving to you, I'll see a bigger return on investment. So make a bigger return on investment. Because this is a cycle that we see not just with Marvel Strike Force, but we've noticed over the past with Disney Magic Kingdoms, Avengers Academy, the Contest of Champions, also Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, is that there is a continual increase in pressure to spend money. Yeah. And that's going to be true of all games, but it feels even worse in games like this, where it's just the pressure is always there.
Yeah. And it's just a strange one, because the whole thing is like microtransactions. Literally, I've sat there last night watching the news, eating my dinner, and the BBC News did a story about microtransactions. Now it's like, well, okay, because they had again, now you have to put a label on boxes from December. Boxes are going to have a label on them saying that they have in-app purchases, and then they show some GTA stuff, and then they showed someone on a mobile phone game, and I'm going, you've not quite covered the point of the story. Was the fact that you put the logo on the box, but there's not a box for a digital.
Yeah,
it was a bit like, this is wrong on so many levels. But it's that kind of thing of it's picking up steam. I mean, I know, like, over in Belgium, you're not allowed to do loot boxes and stuff, and it's all changing, it's all going through, and these mobile games are making you grind through to unlock. It's like Nick Fury comes out today. It's like he should be okay. You either get people to level up to him as an incentive to keep playing, or if you want money, make it so they can buy them. You shouldn't be spending. They shouldn't cost that amount, and I refuse point blank, because it was like, to spend that much money on an additional character, because I can go get a triple. For spending $200 a month on stuff for a free to play game, you could buy
not free to play anymore.
You could go buy 4 AAA. You could buy a new AAA game a week on your console for that. And that's literally, you could buy a new one each week for that amount of money, just in gaming. And I think, to me, I still, I'm looking at the Spider-Man coming out this week going, it's 80 quid for the digital deluxe version or something like that. It's like, should I go that, or should I go physical, but it's £10 cheaper, or let alone, and I'm thinking, like, that's Spider-Man, I'm going to get 20 hours of DLC and all the rest of it. And, like, to spend $99 on a pack for a character in a mobile game, which they could turn off tomorrow, it just blows my mind. Marvel Strike Force, they're doing a very good job of tanking this game, because this will send warnings to people downloading it. If you're on things like Polygon and other sites, people are going to take one look at this, and you're going to put people off. I mean, they make, we just get more whales. No one's going to jump into this game going, that looks like it's going to be fun. They're being really greedy. That's not going to happen at all.
No, and especially if the word gets out. So if, like, say you look up Marvel Strike Force on Google, just kind of maybe see how to play it, and the first couple hits you get are, FoxNet is ripping us off, and Nick Fury angry and all that stuff, you're probably just not going to download it. So you know, uh, there are people smarter than us trying to figure out what's going on here, not just with FoxNet, but just in general. This entire microtransaction loot box thing, and we've stated our opinions on them in the past, and it's got to reach a breaking point at some point here. There's got to be a point where even the whales, there will always be at least a couple people who will be the whales, but at some point, even the whales have to go, this just isn't worth it. But maybe they don't. No. Maybe this is the economy of the future. This is where games go, and it'll just be a bunch of whales playing against each other because free-to-play gamers aren't going to put up with this nonsense. Why waste my time hitting a whale wall in the PvP or the leaderboards or whatever? That's not satisfying.
That's right. We're just all have to keep with on Nintendo, because at least the guys running Nintendo over there, I mean, they have just launched a new game full of microtransactions, but even their top chiefs are there sitting going, they're encouraging people to play games for free, and we don't like this. And it's gonna be an interesting way to go forward, but it was definitely not good seeing Marvel mobile games getting bad publicity and just seeing when you've got your big supporters of games just rage quitting and just saying to every one of their followers, thousands and thousands of followers, we're stopping because of how bad this has got. That's never a good sign.
And it's not just that. This is FoxNet's first major property. I know that there have been a couple others, and I think there's even been a PC game. But this is their most visible property. They're the brand new company. They are a company that's doing a lot of work for Disney. We know of several projects that they're working on. And if this is a preview of what we can expect in terms of public communication, how they're going to monetize the games, how they're going to react to consumer criticism, that is not a pretty picture
especially
of
when
the future.
The overlords about to buy your property.
Right, exactly.
Because these are going to get swallowed up by Disney next year. So, going to be interesting what they do. I think they definitely need to start looking at have some. Well, hopefully they've already had some crisis talks, but maybe it might be the other thing of going, no, we've just got to keep crashing through, and maybe the idea is just to wear gamers down so people get used to it. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting what happens with this game. But let us know what you guys think of Marvel Strike Force and all the microtransaction stuff going on at the minute. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, or get in touch with us on social media. You can like, follow, and subscribe on all the different platforms. James, where can I find you?
You can find me at heroiclegacy.com.
On that note, guys, thank you very much for joining us. We'll be back soon. Later.